Happy Friday and welcome to the weekly recap. This is episode number 102. It's afternoon for you, Maddie, but it's still yet early for me. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Rick. Happy New Year, everyone, first of all, because this is our first edition, first episode after New Year's Eve. I hope everyone had a good time and everyone had some time to rewind as well. For us, 2023 looks very busy. Would you agree to that, Rick?
Yes, it's very busy. As you know, first of all, I'm at home. We're doing the very early record because my day is already filled up, but the recap must go on. So, oh, look at that! I'm wide open at 5 o'clock in the morning, so that's why we're recording right now. So yes, it's going to be busy, and we did take the break last. We didn't have an episode last week, but still a lot of action to share. So I say we jump right into it.
Let's do that.
All right. So first up is Joe playing and sharing with V12. And, this one, I even jumped in on this one, but what caught your eye here about this topic?
A pretty interesting discussion around the two-factor authentication login feature and security features in general. And to be honest, it's a great article, but then all that discussion is super intense in there. So the comments, all the people that jumped in, as well as you said, you jumped in and clarified a few things. And I have to agree to something that Derek says in there, that MFA and security in general should be like default available, at all levels, not necessarily like a premium feature. And he has a good point. I think it's in one of the his last comments, he says security is a selling point to use the software. So I have to totally agree to that. What is your takeaway, Rick, in this regard?
Well, I actually found this out when beta 2 expired as well. And I even raised this internally because I said, hey, how should this be handled? Because I found this out earlier and I was told this was by design. And so the reality is we definitely want Veeam 1 monitoring licenses to not have this situation happen, and even at a minimum email alerts, right? So this situation shouldn't happen, number one. And then, okay, thirdly, then your Veeam sales rep should call you and let you know it's time to renew. Okay, so there's scenario number 3 where it shouldn't happen. And then I think right here at the end, this is what I was getting at here. Generally speaking, we have this view that you shouldn't have to pay extra for security. In fact, best way to see that is the VHR actually built into the community edition, right? But as it is now for V12, MFA won't be included in community edition, which is what happens if your license expires. But then the multi-factor authentication keeps coming up. And Derek, you hit it right here, right there. If someone's on the OS, you've got other issues, right? And MFA on the application isn't really going to be the end all be all of things. And so that's why, in fact, we had this at the Veeam 100 summit. I asked the group, I'm like, hey, I feel like we should still recommend session MFA on the Veeam components, at a minimum, the Veeam server. And everyone's kind of like, yeah. So this actually brought it back around, and I'm going to go ahead and give you a like for that one, Derek, because that is indeed, if someone's on the OS, they've got other issues. But yeah, great thought through here, Joe, on this one. And let's see if we change the behavior over time. But as it goes, that's definitely a good pick.
Yep, totally. Thank you, Joe.
Now, kind of a series is back, and Steve is talking about command line magic with object storage stuff, part 3. This is great.
Yes, absolutely. It seems like the object storage is like a hot topic these days. I've seen a lot of posts about that. So yeah, basically Steve wrote a series with 3 parts so far. Maybe there's more coming. I don't know. He's going to let us know soon. Yeah, he's talking about Veeam object storage tips and techniques. If you want, he's starting with the premise that once we launch V12, there's going to be like more people and more companies that are going to use object storage for their backup repositories. And in the first two parts, I think his focus is on just giving an overview of the object storage. And he's talking as well about S3 API requests that Veeam software sends to the object storage repository. And he's using a tool, S3 Bucket Access Logging. So he's insisting on this topic quite a lot. I'm not sure if it's the first or second part. Yeah, Steve says that you can either use the interface provided by the object storage solution, or you can use the AWS command line interface. And then he's starting for the purpose of this series, he's using the AWS CLI. In the third article of the series, he's talking about a feature of the AWS CLI, which is the usage of profiles. And apparently by using the AWS CLI profiles, you can quickly switch between object storage platforms by simply changing the profile and the endpoint URL. And then he's just trying to kind of show us how to configure the first profile, more profile, how to use it. So that would be in the third part of the series. I don't know, what is your takeaway in this one?
Well, this is super advanced stuff. I've never myself had to go into using the AWS command line interface, but I will tell you, I've used multiple AWS keys, right? So some of these three platforms, which is what he's switching context through with these command line interface elements. This is really cool stuff. If for some of you who don't know, Steve is in the Veeam Product Management Alliances group, right? This is the group that really gets us into these integrations with things in the market. This is above me, Madi, but I trust him. He knows what he's doing. But you did mention that this is part 3, and then part 2 and 1 are linked contextually over here. But I gotta tell you, this is the best section heading I've ever seen, how to avoid an immutability migraine. I've actually done that, and he is really right in bringing up some of that information. So super good technical information, Steve. Thank you so much for sharing this. This is a great, super deep piece of content.
Absolutely, yes. Thank you, Steve.
Actually, so Steve works at Veeam, and then our next featured piece of content, Patricio, who also works at Veeam, has a really cool post over in Kubernetes Corner about automating disaster recovery with Cast and K10. This one is pretty cool, and I'm going to pull up the GitHub link that he talks about this. This is cool. Ansible is a great automation platform. Patricio is one of our MVPs. Oh, I'm stealing some of our secret new news. But now, what caught your eye on this one?
Yeah, this sounds like, like a fun project that can be extremely useful if Patricio manages to figure it out, because obviously it's still like at the beginning. He's actually mentioning, don't use it in production, just play around with it, give me some advices. I'm waiting on feedback if you play with it. And yeah, using the Cast and K10 disaster recovery feature with Ansible to automate the disaster recovery plan for Kubernetes, that really sounds interesting. And I'm looking forward to see the evolution of this project. And I would like to, I love to see these kind of initiatives. We had like a few weeks ago, we also had Marcus, one of our Veeam vanguards. He was using Ansible collection for the Veeam backup and replication REST API. So just 2 projects, 2 different kind of products with the same automation tool. So I'm really looking forward to see the evolution of all these projects. There is also, like, I believe, Andre, that is also working on some automation. We have Maurice with the chocolatey. We have Who else? I think there's Jim. I think he's using as
there's
well.
a lot. There's a
Yeah,
lot.
a
And then,
lot of them.
and I'm telling you, there's a lot of people that want to engage more in this. Because we're getting ready to go through a new group that wants to engage in stuff. But yeah, you've got a lot of different things. Oh, look at that. Patricio is also sneaky putting it over there, which is good. But basically, yeah, yeah, here we go. There's Jim with creating V12 buckets, for example, in Sober. So yeah, this type of stuff, Ansible is so good if you're in the business of repeatedly deploying these things, um, or in this case, using it for disaster recovery. This is really cool, cutting edge stuff. So thank you so much, Patricio. And this is a great share.
And I think maybe we can even, I was just thinking maybe with so many starting like automation projects that we have in place, maybe we can even use all this information for like some demo in some of our events at Kubernetes Corner or Automation Desk, that could be so cool to do.
Maddie, never give me a wild idea on the fly, because I will take it and run with it.
Please do it.
Automation Desk Live at Veeam On.
Oh my goodness.
Cybersecurity Corner at Veeam On. Bring the thematic groups to life.
Yes, we can do so many things, but yeah, this is a great idea to start with, honestly.
I'm a busy person. Why are you giving me more work? I love it. Love it. All right, so that's our actual content. Let's switch over to special department news, and we're going back to the Belgium and Luxembourg group. Nico recapped their end of the year gathering, looks like.
Well, it is actually the first in-person VUG. Yes.
Okay, not the party, not a note about the party, but they're actually back, because I'm going like, what kind of party is that? No, this is actually their user group meeting. Oh, okay, I read it wrong.
Exactly. No, they actually had like some party. They went to like a Christmas market after the event, but they were talking about community. We shared like some information about community. We worked with Safia on a presentation, and we gave it to Nico, and he presented at this event. And then there were few other partners that presented about VBM 365 portal, their own portal. Then they talked about VBR version 12. They talked about interesting subjects, and then they also went for that kind of market. See Nico in there.
There's Nico,
with a slide, ways to engage at the community.
I was like taking our content, or did we give it to him?
There you go.
I don't know.
We gave it to him. Yes, we prepared it specially, for him.
And he's rocking the Legend swag, it looks like, so that's always dapper. That's nice. And then, you know what, by the way, I guess I didn't know they did it up in Belgium too, but a European Christmas market is the coolest thing. I had the chance to go to one. I wasn't drinking any of that, but those are just really cool. There's Stein, our guy, our employee. He's one of the MVPs, and great group there. So a little bit of work, a little bit of fun. Great. Thanks for writing this up, Nico. This is great.
And we have to give special thanks to Stein for organizing everything. I think this is how it starts, this article as well, because he was preparing all the flyers. He arranged the meeting room and everything else. So we have to give him special thanks.
I think he paid for the beer too, so that goes a long way. So yes, cheers. Thank you as well. And then December, so last month, was Chocolatey Month, and we've got a good recap here from Maurice. And thank you, Maurice, for the timeliness. That's an inside comment. What's important here to share for everyone?
First of all, thank you, Maurice, for all this month, all this great content. I mean, I know it was hard work to do like this quiz and post every day and keep the track with a leaderboard. And I think it was fun for all members that participated to the quiz. And I think the takeaway is that we have some winners for the quiz.
I see that.
There you go. We have a final leaderboard. And this is the first time we are announcing the winners.
So it looks like Dips is number one, Chris, and then Jos on the third spot. So, that's kind of cool because you've got, let's see, Dips is a legend, Chris is a Vanguard and a legend, and then Jos is a Vanguard from the Netherlands. And it's kind of interesting because I was talking to Jos about this. He's like, "Oh, I want to get involved with something new," and it looks like he found the community hub. So, no, this is great, awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. But we want to congratulate everyone else because they participated and look, they got like good points in here. Even Safia participated, I think.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, of course, she was not able to be in this leaderboard, but yeah, we can congratulate them for participating. Safia and Joe, because Joe is a leader. Of course, he was not able to compete for the prizes.
Fair shout, fair shout.
Yeah.
And speaking of Safia, whoa, coolest post ever. I saw this pop out yesterday. My goodness, you two have been working on some stuff. What is this awesome piece?
We finally made it, Rick, because we've been working for a while. We've been talking so long about badges and about transparency that we're going to make it available. And finally, we have this post. Thank you, Safia, for writing it and putting all the information together. Now we have description of each of the badge. We have requirements that are very clear for everyone. And yeah, just be a bit patient with us because some of them are like manual, so it's going to take us some time to go over like content and award these badges. Some of them are automatic, so they're going to just show up in your account, but yeah, just be patient with us. And if you know that you do have the necessary activity and you don't have that badge, just let us know, let Safia know, let me know, and we're gonna award it for you. So yeah, we are still working on 2 more badges. I'm not going to uncover that, but it's going to be a surprise. So we're going to let everyone know about it soon.
Yeah, indeed. I thought, this is, for one reason, this is cool in many ways. But one of the reasons that I thought it was cool is that even internally, we really didn't have a way to see them all because the inner workings of the platform where the badges exist, we really don't see them all in a clear way, I guess is the good way to say it. So this is great. This is an outstanding way to kind of see. And you know what? As we add them, we should probably update this and have it roll down,
Yes.
So you'll see this grow, and then some of the new ones are starting to pop in here. Yeah, and here's the other thing. We've kind of tweaked it. Like, for example, this one here, the employee badge, this was actually made, but it wasn't started as the employee. It was a criteria that we didn't understand. So we're like, well, let's just make it employee. That was the first time you and I kind of dabbled in with the badges. And then we started saying, and you can actually even see how the livery, the design style change a little bit, like some of the new ones. And I Madi, I love it, but I don't know if I really like the blue badge, but I'm going with it because I understand that's the new color, but that's okay. I think we can have some different colors mixed in here, but if I remember right, we're scheming the awarding of this one, the recap hero. I don't think we've actually done it yet.
Yes. Actually, yes, we did it because Safia put so much work in it and she watched all the recaps and she made like an Excel file with everyone that was mentioned. So yeah, thank you, Safia, for that again.
Safia watched all of the recaps?
Yes, she did.
She will still talk to me?
Apparently.
Oh my goodness. Wow, you guys, I got to say something for the audience, but also for Madi and Safia. Everyone, they do the work here. They really carry this. And it's just, I'm so lucky to have such a highly functioning team that really help us out here. And the badges are just part of it. There's the looking at the conversations, there's just thinking it through. I'm good at a lot of things, but like deep attention to detail is something I'm not good at. So Madi, Sophia, thank you both so much. I'm just going to say it now. We got to get Sophia on the recap here soon. So
Oh yes, absolutely. Next week, I think we're gonna get
what
her,
a great
right?
idea. I
Yes.
sent you the agenda. I think we need to make a change for the, oh, I'm blowing away the secret for next week, but yeah, so awesome. So thank you so much, Sophia. Great work. You and Madi have been working on that, and man, there's always something going on in the community. I love it. Love it.
Yeah, I guess we'll see everyone next week with a special edition, isn't it? I think
Yeah,
we're working on that. I'll
we'll
be in
blow
Columbus. Let's just
exactly.
say it. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're having a little a summit of sorts for our community operations, and so Madi, Sophia, well, Sophia and myself are always in that office, and then Madi's going to join, and Edwin will be coming as well. He's engaging a little bit, maybe put some action behind the cybersecurity corner, or space, I should say. And then, yeah, just a little bit of fun, a little bit of work. And so it's going to be a busy time, but thank you so much for preparing all of this content, Madi.
My pleasure as always, Rick.
All right, everyone, have a great weekend. And I don't have the who's new. I'm 3 weeks back. So when we do it next week, if it says plus 1,000 or something crazy like that, that's because I'm running behind, but we will bring that back as well. Have a good weekend, and we'll see you next week.